Hey there YouTube, Logan with Hideaway Homestead here, coming to you today with a quick video, well, maybe a quick video, on the black soldier fly larva. I'm going to be giving updates on this and talking about it and giving maybe a little bit more information every time I make a video about black soldier fly and about raising their larvae, etc., etc. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give everybody a fair warning. This video is rated do not watch if you are afraid, grossed out, or creeped out by bugs. So this is going to be a lot of larvae you're going to be looking at. So here we've got, so you've been fair warned. I'm about to turn the camera around and we're going to look at the system here. So we've got in here amongst all the coffee grounds, you can see feathers, hooves, and stuff like that kind of sticking up, but you know, all the carcasses and stuff that's been thrown in here, and then the coffee grounds thrown on top to hide the smell, is a great way to graze these flies. So they're gonna eat the coffee grounds too, so it's part of their bedding. I like using it for, you know, the fishing bait and everything. You just hook them in this segment right back here on the back of them, and they make great fishing bait, don't come off the hook easy. And I was going to show my harvesting deal. I was worried that I may not have enough, let's get some of these coffee filters out here. I may not have enough, they've got a little bit of garbage in there too, but can't complain because all this stuff is free. How they're going to be crawling out of this little hole right here. And I think just because it's so full, not only are the ones that are ready to pupate crawling out, but I've had some that are not quite ready to pupate. They crawled out too. Just look at this mass of larvae here. I mean, there's so many in there. And there's a bunch of them that are ready to pupate. There's some of them that are not. And so I'm going to be giving some of these to the chickens, the ducks, and everybody followed me up here. Let's just take this down here for a second. Let me put another one underneath here just in case some more fall out. But your harvests are going to vary. Sometimes you'll get a whole bunch. Sometimes you won't get hardly any at all. Sometimes you won't get any at all. It just kind of depends on where they are in the life cycle. It takes them 45 days to go from an egg to a pupa. So you may have black soldier fly larvae in here laying eggs every day, because they'll lay them up in places away from the food source. That way when they fall in, they're already maggots and they can start eating. If you let the eggs in there, the maggots might eat the eggs, and that's not a very good word. They are technically a maggot, but you know, people say larva and grubs, so just to make it sound nicer, they're not like a fly maggot. I can tell you this, that carcasses and stuff that I've thrown in here, like leftovers and everything, if there are any fly maggots in there, heavens help them, because they're gone in no time, because these guys outcompete them and also eat them. But yeah, super great way to grow some protein. So now you can see that this works as far as harvesting the bugs. They kind of crawl out. Same thing with the eggs. When they get ready to pupate, they crawl out so that way they don't get eaten. Let's see how the chickens and ducks react to these little guys here. Let me pause the video. I'm gonna walk down here where they're at. All right, so we're down here with the chickens and Skoda. I'm gonna try to get Skoda to get away for a second so that way we can see if the chicken, I didn't want to dump them on the ground just that way y'all could really see. Well, I'll dump some on the ground here. There we go. Let's see how the chickens and ducks react here. They're looking. Oh, there you go, got a beetle. Now they're going in for it. Them being free range, and I don't know how vigorously they're gonna get after them when they've got all their other bugs. Up there is ate a beetle that was mixed in with them. And of course the chickens and ducks are going to make liars out of me as far as eating them goes. When they were cooped up, they ate a whole lot more in with the rabbit poop, so I don't know what their deal is right now. Why it is that they're not just devouring these guys. Oh, there we go. Now they're spread out a little bit more. Maybe that was the problem. They just saw a mass there and didn't know what to think. Oh yeah, the roosters figured it out. So this is the first time I'm dumping them just solid grubs to the chickens and ducks. So something they're not used to seeing. It was mixed in with the rabbit poop and they have to dig through it and peck and eat them. Now they're figuring out what it is. They're gonna eat them. It's just like the video that I made with the liver and other organs. Once they figured out what they had, they got after it real good. So just getting them trained to where they'll eat like that. I'm gonna be probably putting the chickens back up for a while to be underneath the rabbits and do a little bit more composting. And the ducks, I'm gonna probably clip their wings and put them in a fenced little corral to move around so they can graze. They're kind of lazy. They kind of just hang around here all day. So if I can move them on grass and then give them some of this for protein, I think I'll be able to finish them out real nicely as far as the males go, to harvest a bunch of them and keep, you know, a few for breeding. So yeah, they're getting on it now. I'll go ahead and give them another little pile here to get a hold of. Oh yeah. And from here, I'll pause the video again and we'll see if we can't give some to some fish. I don't know if we'll be able to see it, but we'll check it out. I figured while I was here, I'd give some to the baby ducks too, just see what they think. They'll get a hold of them. There we go. Oh yeah, they're eating them. Good protein source for the ducks. Let's go move on to the fish. So what I'll do is I'll kind of just finish up this video talking about it and show y'all here. I'm going to move back some of these plants. I've got just IBC container here that I've got some bluegill and other sunfish, brim, whatever you call them from wherever you're at. And I'm going to reach in here and just get a little bit of these grubs and see if we can't get these bluegill to come up and feed. The water's kind of green right now. It's cycling, so we may not get to see much. Oh, I see a fish there. Maybe it'll show up on camera. But yeah, I want to get them trained to where they'll come up and eat these grubs. I've got some more in here. I'm going to kind of dump some over here. See if we can't get them to come up and eat. They're a little skittish still. I guess if you had a hook in your mouth and got jerked out of the water and moved to a new place, you might be a little skittish too. But I saw them come up and they were eating some. I hope it showed up on camera some. But they are eating them. And I'm not seeing any more right now. The water's just a little too green. I need to either throw some straw in here or start filtering this through some kind of bed, growing plants, so that way we can have a better look at the fish. So we've got the fish and the chickens and the ducks that we can feed these to. Another one that you can feed them to that you may, I mean, you may want to do it kind of as a treat. They won't, I don't think you'll be able to produce enough unless you have a really big system to feed your pigs consistently on them, but you can feed them to pigs. So I'll go ahead and take some up there to the pigs and show y'all and see how they like them. I've never given them to the pigs, so this will be a first for me too. So as y'all can see, we've got some poor little abused pigs here that never get anything to eat. We'll see how they like the black soldier fly larva. We'll give them the rest there. There's a pile right there. I don't know if they're gonna eat it or not. It looks like. Makes me think of the Lion King and Timon and Pumbaa. Of course, the pigs being Pumbaa, eating the bugs. I think that Peppa's little friend, we haven't named her yet. There's Peppa. I think she was eating on them a little bit, but I don't know if they're gonna eat them or not. Maybe if they figure out what they are. Y'all don't want them grubs there? They might be too spoiled from all the fruit and vegetable waste they've been getting from the grocery store. They're sniffing. Yeah, that doesn't look like they're too interested, honestly. And it may be just that they haven't tried it yet. That's really strange, because normally with them, I can give them anything almost, and they'll eat it. I give them sometimes if we had an animal that was sick and died. If we have some leftovers. I know when I was processing the lambs, I brought the heart and lungs up, or no, not the heart, but the lungs, and some other pieces, leftover pieces, and they just devoured it. And so they don't seem to be too crazy about the grubs. So maybe if it was a different pig other than the cooney, I don't know. But I know that they like meat and they'll eat that. So it may be just it's not their cup of tea. I don't know. They're still just standing around here kind of in the area looking, hollering at me like they'd never been fed before. That's the thing about pigs, is they act like they haven't eaten a day in their life every time you walk by them. So they're really easy to control because you can just bring feed anywhere and they'll just follow you around. So, or heck, it doesn't even have to be feed. It can be bucket with rocks in it if they think it's feed. But anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. It ended up not being a short video. I wanted to take y'all around and show you some of the stuff that would eat it. As they get more used to eating just like the grubs from the bucket like that, it's really weird. Anytime you're introducing some kind of new food source, sometimes animals like it and they're just not used to it, and sometimes they don't like it. So with the pigs, they may never eat it, and I'm not really worried about them. There's so many other things I can give them, but really I want to be able to save these for the ducks and the chickens and fish and anything else that we might keep like that needs protein source during the summer and winter time, if we can save and dry enough. But anyway, if you found the video helpful, please leave a like, or if you enjoyed it, if you've got any questions or comments, drop those down below. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so. I appreciate all y'all watching, and we'll see you in the next one.